turkey and dressing and pie and
COVID.
And cream and cranberry and fruit salad and...
Your mask is making me uncomfortable.
Gee, I can hardly wait.
So what do I say to the science? I say I don't believe your science because I believe my God.
COVID-19 now is about Marxism.
Communist-style social credit system.
And maybe I'm immune, I don't know.
It's a takeover of the U.S. military.
What they claim is science is nonsense.
Healthy people aren't dying. We're just getting over it like the flu.
The dangers aren't what you think they are.
I don't co-parent with the government.
We can't play baseball.
It's dangerous to be an old person who has the coronavirus. It's also dangerous to be an old person.
For all these things, we are truly and humbly thankful.
I think we have one of our
We're all going to die.
Hi, my name is Lee McIntyre, and I'm a research fellow at the Center for Philosophy and History of Science at Boston University. And I'm here today to try to help you get through Thanksgiving dinner with your relatives. Now I know what you're thinking. Anger I can do. Despair, anxiety, dread. But hope? Why the hell would talking to your dad about Bill Gates' microchip plan, or your brother about how face masks act as a vessel of demonic possession, or your grandma about Dr. Fauci's secret Venezuelan lab make you feel more hopeful? Well, because no matter how bad things get, you can talk to people, and sometimes even change their mind. The theory that talking to believers only makes things worse, and in fact causes them to double down on their mistaken beliefs, comes from a 2010 paper, and it's called the backfire effect. Well, it turns out that this particular part of the paper was unreproducible. Although it seemed real at the time, and it certainly wasn't fraud, it wasn't robust. When they went back to look for it, it wasn't there. And that's great news, because it means that while you might not succeed in convincing somebody to give up their mistaken beliefs, because this is hard, you're not going to make it worse by trying. So rule 1, have hope. Give it a try. That said, you know what else is not robust? The phrase, let's go shake some sense into them. Yeah, don't do that. I know how hard it is to be respectful, how tempting it is to just vent and scream, but it's not very useful. The literature shows that when hardcore science deniers change their mind, it's always due to one thing: empathy. Science deniers often turn to conspiracy theories because they don't trust systems or individuals. So don't give them one fewer person to trust. The worst possible thing you can do is lose your cool, get mad, and make the other person feel that you're trying to take something away from them or make them feel inferior. Instead, let them know that you care about them and that you're there to help. And the best thing that you can do practically to make that happen is... Jonathan Swift once said that you can't reason somebody out of something that they didn't reason themselves into in the first place. You may think that you have all the facts and perfect reasoning, and maybe you do, but be careful. Because science denial often isn't based on facts, but identity. Take the standard line: the vaccine is not yet proven. Now you could bombard people with statistics, show them graphs and papers and review panels and meta-analyses and hundreds of data points combining to illustrate overwhelming scientific consensus. But that line, the vaccine is not yet proven, could actually mean, I don't trust doctors because I've had a bad experience. It could mean, I'm a little skeptical and I haven't really put much thought into this. It could mean, I don't really understand the science. Or, I believe that Dr. Fauci and Bill Gates are in a secret pedophile ring with Hillary Clinton. Or anything in between. Every science denier is different, and you never know where someone is in their journey. But you know what won't help? Bombarding people with facts. The magic of a personal conversation is that if you listen carefully, people will often tell you precisely what would change their mind. And then maybe, just maybe, you can give it to them. But how do you get to that point? Well, first you have to... Once trust is built, once you know what emotions they're feeling, you can begin ever so gently to poke holes in their logic. Crucially though, you're not trying to destroy or own or debunk their beliefs. Don't be one of those guys. Everyone hates those guys. You're just asking questions. These could be things like, why should we be skeptical of scientists, but not strangers who post on Facebook? Or what does every doctor in the world have to gain from being part of some giant vaccine conspiracy? And how would they even keep that a secret? But my very favorite question of all is this. It sounds like your view's based on evidence. So tell me, What evidence, if I had it in my back pocket right now, might convince you that you were wrong? If they can't answer that, then even they might notice that there's a problem, because any scientist should be able to answer that. Above all, your question should come from a genuine sense of curiosity. This final rule is the most important. Don't expect your loved ones to change their minds immediately. Seriously, don't. That expectation will make you irritable and impatient. Instead, preserve the relationship and circle back in subsequent conversations. Aim to make them feel loved and trusted. You can't change someone's mind for them, but you can start them on the path to changing their own mind. Equally, don't put pressure on yourself, either to change their minds or to come out of these conversations unscathed. It's very hard to talk to somebody you love about an important subject like this. So limit yourself to a few questions and give yourself some space before and after. You burning out is not going to help anybody, either you or them. Thanksgiving is meant to be a time for loved ones to get together, eat good food, and be grateful for what we have. I know it's tough, but even if they have the craziest views, they're still your friends and family. They still love you, and you love them, and that's something to be grateful for. The journey to changing minds can be long and arduous, but if you keep these 5 rules in mind, you're more likely to succeed. It'll be tough, but that doesn't mean it's not worth taking the first step. So good luck, and please pass the stuffing.